Hello and welcome to Faith Friday. My name is Sharon Hartley, and I want to share with you some miracles of what God has done in my life and my family's life. So, this is going to be a series every Friday that we're going to get to glorify God and praise His name and just worship Him because He is the beginning and He is the end. He has done so many wonderful, wonderful things for myself and my family, and I just want to share my story and also my family story. Now, some of these stories might be sad, so get your tissues. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. It's just going to show you how God can work in your life, how He can change your life totally around if you give your life to God. If you are not saved, today is the day. It is never too late to give your heart to God. He had given His only Son for us so that were we were forgiven for everything that we've ever done wrong, all our mistakes, our faults. And God is just so forgiving, and He is a loving, loving God. He is your best friend. He will be your comforter for life. He will never let you down. He will be there for always and forever. So I'm going to share with you a story about my mom. She was 10 years ago, she had a 9 centimeter cyst that was found at her gynecologist doctor's appointment. The gynecologist said that when he did an exam on her, that she had a 9 centimeter cyst on her left ovary. So she went in for a overnight procedure. She stayed overnight at a public hospital, and they did the procedure where they go in laparoscopically through the belly button, and then there's 2 incisions below. They had burnt off the cyst, and she had stayed overnight at the public hospital. Now, I have never had my driver's license, so I had to get to the hospital by public transport. I had to bring up her robe and a few things that she needed for her overnight stay, some clothes and whatnot. And then I had to come home, take care of the animals, feed them, do the housework, all that kind of stuff. We had a church at the time where a church family came to the hospital. They prayed over her, and she was feeling okay. So they released her from the hospital, and I got her into the bed. I just knew that something was not right with her. She was so bloated, and she was just not able to do much at all. And I thought, that might be kind of normal after surgery. A day or two went by where she couldn't shower herself, so I showered her and we cleaned up the wound. And when I took the bandage off, it looked like little microfiber pus kind of bacteria. Now, I'm sorry if you have a weak stomach, you probably shouldn't be watching this because I will go into some detail. So I had just met my fiance at the time, my boyfriend at the time, which is my husband now. And we were talking on the phone, just catching up like we always did. We talk about everything. And he was saying, "How is your mum feeling?" And she yelled out to me, "Sharon." And I'm like, "Yeah." And out of her belly button, there was just brown, it looked like crap coming out. And I could not stop it. I put towels over it, and it just gushed out. It just gushed out, and it smelled like sewage. I felt so bad for her. I knew that something was wrong, something was not right. So we called the ambulance. She went to the emergency room, and she was back in the same hospital. She was there for a week. The nurses were horrible. They would throw diapers at her. just because the smell was just so bad. They managed to stop the sepsis from coming out of her belly button. They were not able to find her veins, so she had to go through tremendous amount of having to find her veins and put her hands in a bucket of water, hot water, and then they were going to try on her feet, and it was horrible. They put a PICC line in her arm where they were able to get the antibiotics in, and then she was there for a week. So I was going back and forth to the hospital, and our church family was coming up and praying for her and everything like that. We would just pray over her, and she was so depressed and so just worked up with anxiety. Then she came home and she had the district nurse come out, and every day they had to flush out the line with a pump. She had a pump on her, which would I think it was every 6 hours, it would pump the medicine into her. She still was very bloated. Well, I tell you, what happened was the surgery went bad. The gynecologist came in and he said at first he was going to do the operation, but then he said his assistant did the operation. And what happened was they had cut the fat, and the fat, that's where the sepsis was coming from. My mum was close to death. She had a fever. She was dying. And I just, we seriously could have sued that hospital. I mean, it was a very difficult time. I'm surprised I'm not crying right now. I'm very kind of an emotional person when I talk about these. But I spoke to God. I said, I'm not ready to lose my mum. My mum's all that I had other than my husband now and my little Charlie, our dog. I only have my mum, and my mum and I, we live a world away from each other. She lives in Melbourne, Australia. I live in North Carolina. And we just put all our faith, all our trust, everything that we were dealing with at the time, we put it at Jesus' feet. We put it at God's feet. We said, God, just allow for a healing to come into my mom. And he saved her. He had a purpose for her. He said it wasn't her time. She was here on earth to tell her story, or for me to tell her story. So, I am just so grateful to God. I am just forever in his debt. I'm never going to be able to repay him for everything that he's done. I have a mom because of him, and we talk every single day. It's not the same. She has come to America a few times, but it's not the same as seeing your mom every day. And I just miss her hugs, and I miss her terribly. But, I wanted to share that story with you. If you are having hardships with your health, or your husband and wife, you're having challenges with your husband and wife, or anything, pray to God and let him help you with your situation. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, and I hope that you enjoyed my story about my mom. God heals. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.